guys, so welcome to my review of my Volvo S90 design. So I'll be going through a few things of what I've experienced throughout the ownership, such as performance, how it drives, the practicality, the interior space, and going through the infotainment as well. But yeah, I just want to give you a perspective of what it's like to own the S90. And yeah, this is a saloon version, so hence why it's S90. Otherwise it will be V90, which is the estate version. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's talk about the performance. So this model has a D4 engine, so D4 spec. So it has 190 bhp twin turbo, and I think it's 400 torque. Yeah, it pulls away well. It's 0 to 60 in 7.8 seconds. It can be a E220D in terms of the competition. It does very well from 50 to 70. So in terms of performance, it's very competitive. So it does have the twin turbo, so there's no much lag in the rev range, so it's always pretty much going. And we do have the adaptive suspension as well, and it kind of gets activated in the drive modes. So we have eco, comfort, individual, and dynamic. And individual being customizing all the how hard do you want the steering or the gear response, and of course the suspension, the dampers. So if I put it into dynamic mode, so what happens is the gear change is a lot more late, so it holds onto the gear a lot longer, so you got that instant power. And you can really tell the twin turbo does work wonders, because there is just pretty much no lag all through the rev range. And I think it's, for a twin turbo, it's not that powerful, but in comparison to a 535D or 540D, like they're all twin turbos, especially the older 335Ds as well, they're twin turbo, and they're known for their performance figures above 250s. But yeah, in terms of this car, twin turbo, but it's more of a very small turbo, just to kind of get rid of that lag. So yeah, it picks up very well. Yeah, like I said, if you put it in dynamic, it holds the gear longer. It doesn't change gear, so the rev, they keep it really high. And in terms of the steering feel, I previously had a BMW 3 Series, so it was a quite old spec, so it was a E90, so 2009 model. It had the hydraulic steering, so this is the electric steering. So of course there will be a bit of wake steering, which is quite common in electric steering. So in terms of dynamic, it's not really compatible with something like a BMW 5 Series. I don't think so. They're a lot more engaging, and you get a lot more feedback on the steering wheel. But this car is mainly for like a luxury type, so if you want more comfort, you prioritize comfort over performance or driver involvement. If you care about that a lot, it's best to go with the 5 Series. To me, I don't really mind. It drives fine for me. I don't go around racing tracks, or I don't do too many countryside roads, so I live in the city, so it doesn't make much of a difference, but the comfort level does. So yeah, then the gearbox, it can be a bit jerky sometimes. So when you're coming up to a traffic light, it sometimes get a bit confused in choosing the gears. So It's not the best, but it's not problematic. I don't think so. It can live with it, but that's the only downside. Sometimes it's just a bit jerky. So yeah, so we talked. Yeah, they do have these flappy paddle for the gearbox. So this is first gear. That's the auto braking system. So yeah, it's not that direct in terms of like, okay, I'm in second gear now, change now. It has that like a little 2 second, I would say like a few milliseconds difference. It's not that accurate, like a, I don't know, like a DSG gearbox, you know, dual clutch gearbox. But I rarely use it, but it's quite good if you are like, if you're on a traffic light or if you're in a roundabout, just drop the gear down and just, you know, get ready to just jump into the roundabout or quickly get into the roundabout. So yeah, only downside in terms of performance is, I would say, even though it's just by a little bit, it's not a huge problem, it's the gearbox. But you know, it drives fine. It never really bothered me, but I'm just nitpicking here, like there's not much of a problem. So I normally leave it in comfort mode, so everything is a lot more softer steering. The gear change is a lot more early, so you know, keeps it smooth. So there is the individual mode, so you can, I think I talked about it already. So it's just adjusting the steering, how early you want the gear change, and the dampers, they get a little bit more stiff. So yeah, I think I pretty much covered it all. Overall, it's good. 190 bhp. He can keep up with it's not much difference with the E-Class, so the E220D or a 520D. It pretty much very compatible. Yeah, so but in summary, I would say if you're looking for more of a driver engaging car, I would say BMW. Stick to BMW. This is more of a comfort, so you would be kind of, I would say it's sort of in the territory of an Audi. So it has a bit of a balance. It's not engaging as a BMW, but it's not luxurious as a Mercedes. So it's sort of in between, you know, it gives a good balance. And this is the R line, so the suspension is a bit more stiffer. It's, I don't know, just 10 or 20 millimeters a bit lower, so you feel it. This one has the 18-inch wheels, so it absorbs the bumps a little bit better, and they do come with like up to 21-inch, which I wouldn't recommend because on these UK roads it's just horrific. I'm sure it will buckle or crack. But yeah, I got 18-inch right now. I might upgrade to a 20-inch, so let's see how it goes. But in terms of if you want comfort, go for the 18s. It's the best. It absorbs all the bumps very well. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers all the performance side of this car. So let's have a look at the interior now. So this one is spec'd in half leather, half suede, or Alcantara or suede, not sure which one it is. So it has the full screen display. Our design and inscription come as standard with the full screen. Otherwise it will be just a screen in the middle and 2 physical dowels. So we have the starting, the little knob there, that's the gear knob, and this is our design steering wheel. So this is for the little menu in the display too. So for media and navigation, you can set it instead of going through the infotainment system. This seat has the extra padding here that you can adjust, and this one doesn't have the electric system, so you can adjust the height and the lumbar support. So for the interior, for the starting, you just basically turn the knob, and that's the driving mode selecting button. So as you can see, I normally leave it in just comfort. Interior, 2 cup holder space, 1 12-volt system. This is normally where you can leave your keys. So you've got the 4 folding mirrors and 4 electric windows. So in order to fold the 2 mirrors, you just press this twice, and vice versa. Let's go to the back seat. Got plenty of space here, cup holders. Normally there's mood lighting here, so you can, there's LEDs under there. So a lot of leg space in here. It feels very airy, like a very I think it's the big windows, it's the open space. That's how I felt when I first got in this car in the back. Got a lot of knee room. This little tow boat. This is in my driving position. I'm 5'7", and for someone that is even 6'2", they sit here very comfortably. It's a shelf, so you got the 2 speaker system there. That's the armrest. The little storage. That's the cup holder there that will slide out. Let's have a look at the boot. Oh yeah, got ventilation there. It is fully electrical boot opening, and you can even do it with your key fob. It's a very large opening in comparison to the competitors. And you've got the little ski hatch. Got a spare wheel, and it's a space saver, but still it's rare to find these days. So you can just there we go. So let's have a quick look at the infotainment. So it has digital radio. You can play music with Bluetooth, or you can also play music and video files through USB. For example, this is what it plays, MP4 video files. So yeah, and it can also be connected to Spotify. That will work through Wi-Fi. Once your phone's connected, you can connect it through Wi-Fi hotspot, and that will work. And of course you have to install all this in the App Store. let's have a look if it connects. My phone is connected, but I don't think the hotspot is connected. It's just a Bluetooth. Of course, you can play it through Bluetooth as well. So yeah, you've got all the, that's a download center for once you're connected to the internet, it will come up here. I pretty much downloaded all the files. Also, yeah, you got your air conditioning, so that is here, and you see heating, and see that's how you control it. And there's automatic as well, and the seat heating settings are here. Also the steering wheel settings, and you have to control it through here. So the temperature settings are here, dual zone. So yeah, just turn that off. It gets a bit loud. Yeah, so you got your map. It works quite good. In terms of traffic, it's not very accurate, so I wouldn't recommend using it in kind of city centers. Like Waze is something that's a lot better, which brings me to the point where it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, also Android Auto. When this car was bought new, I'm guessing it came as an option. I'm not sure whether it comes as standard, but you will need to check. So not every car will have the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you will need to check the specific cars that will have it. So that's the menu. This is just iPod. I'm guessing that's just connecting to the old-fashioned iPod. But yeah, you got your weather settings and all of that, and Volvo ID as well, which you need to subscribe to. So that's the navigation, and this is kind of the settings menu. All of these are left it on, so parking sensors and all of that, it will come up. So let's say you put it in reverse, it should come up, but okay, it's not coming out. Maybe something does creep up behind. I think it's gonna turn on. I don't have the reverse camera, otherwise that would have came up. So yeah, also you can change your settings here. So for example, the display settings, so you can turn into bright or normal. Also so these are the settings for the driver's display. There you go. So that's glass, then there's minimalistic, there's performance, and the chrome rings, which should come up. Oh, there you go. And yeah, so I just leave it on performance. I like the red look in the screen. So let me just set up again. Yeah, so yeah, this pretty much are the settings there. And yeah, you can play the MP4 files through the USB I showed you before. Only thing is, once you start moving, it will show up as, you know, you need to only the audio will play, so the video won't be showing up because of safety. I did check it up to kind of reroute that, but it's very difficult and it's quite expensive, since it's not like Audis or Mercedes where there's a lot of aftermarket things, or it might be just like I had a Volkswagen Passat CC before. It was just a little CD install and it was done. This one actually needs a hardware, which is quite expensive to do. So yeah, I just don't bother with it. So yeah, also, so let me have a look. Let me show you the drive display. Hope you can see clearly. So you have all these menus here, and you can change. So the middle map, you can change it to either music, or just the thing. You can turn it off, so the music or mobile phone or something like that. I just leave it as map. I like the way it looks, and you can just set the navigation from here as well, so the route is
being calculated,
and yeah, that's it.
Follow the road for 700
it will be very similar it will be same as well. You can in the actual main screen, and you can cancel everything from here. You can make your phone calls, you can change your media. You can't really watch videos or anything here. So I know some Audis do, but not in this car. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick view of the infotainment. And yeah, that's it.